Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Time for Tidbit Tuesdays. As we're gearing toward open enrollment, you can hear that word a lot. I have a lot of small business owners that are just husband and wife. They don't have employees, it's just them. And maybe they don't qualify for a tax credit on the marketplace. But they want other options besides an HMO. So Blue Cross will actually allow me to write a small husband-wife group policy where we can access the PPO network. Is it more expensive than the HMO? Yes, it is. But for some people, that's really what they need for different reasons. Sometimes people have a health issue that they need the PPO so that they can go to different doctors. But that is certainly an option. So here's what you need to know about doing that. Price is going to be based on your ages. So the older you are, the more expensive the plans are going to be. It's just the way it works. Of course, which plan you want to enroll in, whether it's a lower or higher deductible, will also help determine the price. They don't ask health questions, which is great. But just know that next year at renewal, based on claims history, that could affect your premium in the following year. 2, what do we need? We need to be paid. A lot of people think you need to be paid as a W-2 to make that happen. You do not. I've had arguments with CPAs about this, and I try to explain that insurance has different rules than taxes. You know, if you have an S Corp, C Corp, whatever those rules are for paying you, yes, you need to follow those and under the advice of your CPA. But for insurance, Blue Cross doesn't care if you're paying yourself. What they care about is your relationship to the LLC or corporation. So what do we need to prove that? So if you are being paid as W-2s, great. That's all we need. That'll be one of the pieces of documents we will need is a wages report to send in to Blue Cross along with your corporation documents. But if you don't pay yourself, then basically the corp docs need to list both husband and wife on there so the Blue Cross can see that relationship. So what happens if only one of you are on the corporation? Well, then the other spouse either needs to be added as an officer, something, on the corporate docs, or they can be added as a W-2 employee. Those are the options. And the reason we're talking about this now is because it needs to, if you're thinking you may want to do this, it makes good sense to get that document, check it, and make sure that both parties are on the document. Because if not, then you need to go ahead and pay the fee and add your spouse so that we have it ready to go. Because it can take a little time, and I need the final document that shows both people are on there. But we need that document in order to send to Blue Cross. It's a pretty simple enrollment. The next year, and you can actually pick your open enrollment date. So what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is you don't have to do a January 1. Your benefits will always reset calendar year, but we can do the enrollment anytime. I recently just enrolled a group for an October 1 start date. So that means every year in September, well, August, September, we're going to review their plan, their renewal, and see if we're going to continue that plan into the next policy year. Why is this important? Because Q4 open enrollment is my busiest time of year. It is insanely busy. So if we do a plan that is off open enrollment timeline, that gives you more access to me. It gives us more time to go through questions. It's easier to reach me. It's easier to get everything processed because insurance companies are slammed too. And if we're trying to process your small group during December for January 1, it's going to take forever. for it to be approved, to get ID cards, and to know all those things. And it makes some people nervous, not knowing if they're going to have coverage for January 1. There should be no reason you don't, unless the documents are not what they should be. So keep that in mind. For a small group, we can make the policy year anytime during the year. And then every year, that's when the renewal will be, during that time period, instead of at the end of the year, during open enrollment, and during the holidays. That's the other kicker. It's also during holiday time and people are busy doing other things. So if you think you may want to do this, hop on my calendar, book an appointment, we'll talk about it, and then we'll see what we need to do. Until next week, peace out.